Hello students, welcome to our channel Learn from Bone Teachers. Today we are going to learn the second part for human health and disease. That is about bacterial diseases. Before watching this video, make sure you have watched the part 1 video. The link is given in the description. So let's start. We often get disease by infections. And it can be by the infection of bacteria, viruses, fungus, etc. Such a disease-causing organism, now we know we have to call them as pathogens. In this session, we are focusing only about bacteria disease. So can you give me some examples for bacteria disease? Yeah, of course, typhoid, pneumonia, dysentery, plague, diphtheria are some examples. Students, look at this table. This is actually a summary about all the bacteria disease that you have to learn according to the NEET syllabus. So related to each disease, you have to focus and learn by which pathogen we are gets infection, the mode of transmission of disease, and what are the symptoms. Again, this table I will show you at the end of this session. Now we can learn each disease in detail. But our focus must be on the pathogen, mode of transmission and the symptoms. We can start from typhoid. It is also known as typhoid fever. We are getting this disease by the infection of the bacteria named Salmonella typhi. If we are infected, within 6 to 30 days, the symptoms start to appear. What is the mode of transmission or how we are getting this disease? It is by contaminated water and food. It means if we are having water and food which is contaminated with this bacteria, it will reach our intestine and we get disease. Let us focus on the symptoms. High fever, weakness of the body, sustained fever. What is mean by sustained fever? Usually if you get fever, within 2 or 3 days it will be suppressed. But when you have typhoid fever, it will not suppress. For a long period you will have high fever. That is 39 to 40 degrees Celsius fever. Next, abdominal pain, constipation. Constipation means difficult to pass fecal matter. Stomach pain, headache, loss of appetite. It means you will not feel hungry. And the last one, intestinal perforation. Bacteria will perforate or makes holes in the intestine. It again leads to the death of the person. See, high fever, abdominal pain, constipation, stomach ache, headache, and loss of appetite. It can be symptom for other disease also. So for typhoid, there are some peculiar symptoms. It means these symptoms can occur only during typhoid. And that are sustained fever and intestinal perforation. The confirmatory test for typhoid is Widal test. In NCERT, just the name is given. Obviously, the test is named after by the inventor Georges Fernand Widal. The test is very simple. If we are infected, our body will produce antibody. So if we are mixing our blood sample with the Salmonella typhi, definitely the clumping between antibody and antigen occurs. Here the antigen is Salmonella typhi and we can confirm the person having typhoid. The rose spots form an important diagnostic feature in typhoid fever. And it is seen in untreated person in late stages of typhoid. Bacteria start to block minute blood vessels of the person which cause rose spots on skin. Now we can learn about chronic carriers. Very few persons recovered from typhoid becomes chronic carriers. It means for them the bacteria is harmless and continues to live inside their body, especially in gallbladder. So if their droplets like coughing, sneezing occurs, it can infect other person and they will get typhoid. Example, Mary Mallon, she is better known as Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary or Mary Mellon. She was an Irish American cook. So in many families, she worked as a cook. She was asymptomatic. It means there was no symptom of disease. So from her, 51 people infected and 3 died. So she was forcibly isolated by health authorities for approximately 30 years and there she died. Next is prevention. In our syllabus there is no much detailing about the prevention. But still you have to know typhoid vaccine is there. And it is effective up to 7 years. It is recommended to people who are going to travel in area where typhoid is very common. But the better way to prevent the disease is drinking clean water, good sanitation and hand washing. The second bacterial disease that you are going to learn is pneumonia. It is the inflammation of lung, especially the small air sacs called the alveoli. The pathogen can be two different, Streptococcus pneumonia and Haemophilus influenza. And how we are getting affected? It is airborne disease. If an infected person is coughing and sneezing and if we are sharing things from him like glass and utensil, then also the disease can be transmitted from one person to another. Now we can focus on symptoms of pneumonia. Fever, chills, cough, headache. The first four can be a symptom for other disease also. But here also some peculiar symptoms are there by which we can say the person having pneumonia. One is the person's fingernails may turn grey to bluish in color in severe cases. Second one, alveoli get filled with a fluid. So the gas exchange will not occur properly and person has to suffer severe breathing problems. Let's see how the alveoli gets affected. In the first diagram, the alveoli is normal, so the oxygen can easily reaches to the bloodstream because the gas exchange takes place smoothly. But the second diagram showing an infected person alveoli. You can see the alveoli is filled with excess fluid. This makes exchange of gas difficult, so sufficient oxygen not able to reach in blood and the person gets breathing problems. Next disease we are going to learn is dysentery. It is inflammation of intestine, especially the colon part. Dysentery causes diarrhea or we can say loose motion with loss of blood and abdominal pain. Sometimes fever also occurs. The pathogens are two types, Salmonella and Shigella group. And the mode of transmission is contaminated water and food. Next disease is plague, caused by pathogen Yersinia pestis. It is a gram-negative bacterium. And the vector is rat flea and rat flea lives on the hairs of rat. Symptoms are include fever, weakness, headache, etc. And there are three types of plague, bubonic plague, septicemic plague and pneumonia plague. In bubonic, it affects lymph nodes. In septicemia plague, the tissues are turned to black color. In pneumonic plague, it causes breathing problem, coughing and chest pain. So this is the vector rat flea. Vector means the carrier of pathogen. In this figure, you can clearly see the rat fleas on the hairs. The last bacterial disease we are going to discuss is diphtheria. Pathogen is Corynebacterium diphtheria. It is gram-negative, non-motile, bacillus type bacteria. Mode of transmission is airborne. The bacteria produce deadly poison. It mainly affects children, especially the throat. And the main symptom is suffocation. So we have learned many bacterial diseases. It will be better you people compare and learn. So for you people, I made a table. In this, the important points only mentioned, like disease name, pathogen, mode of transmission and symptoms. You can copy this and learn. So student, this session ends here. If you have any doubt, mention it in the comments. If you like the video, please press the like button and share with your friends. For supporting us, please subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching.